I think Pari is online.
I already asked her, she is not responding.
Okay.
I already sent her, I asked her, do you want to join? She has not said anything. Okay. Okay, where is Padma? Padma, yes. 22 we finished, is it? Huh?
20.
Oh, up to 20 only we have finished. Okay. Padma has sent me this thing, but I have sent her, isn't it? Yeah. Let me see if I can send to Pari also, because I think she appears to be online. Where is that? Where is Okay, let me see. All right. Good morning, Padma.
Good morning.
So we are doing 20th, huh? Are you sure? मेरे को लगा मैं 22 खत्म किया लगा अयो 20th, huh?
Yeah, we stopped at 20.
Okay. Okay. Chapter 11, no? I have missed my page, that's why I'm asking you. Okay. Yonder host of gods are entering you. Some with palms joined out of fear are uttering your name and glories. Multitude of Maharishis and Siddhas saying, let there be peace are extolling you by means of excellent hymns. The 11 Rudras are 12 Adityas and 8 Vasus. The Sadhyas and the Vishwadevas, the 2 Ashwini Kumars and the 49 Maruts, as well as the names in the multitudes of Gandharva, Yakshas, Asuras, Siddhas, all gaze upon you in amazement. Lord, seeing this stupendous and dreadful form of yours, possessing numerous mouths and eyes, many arms, thighs and feet, many bellies and many teeth, the worlds are terror-struck. So am I. See, it's like till yesterday we were doing what is his manifestation which is going outwards. Now we are talking about what is the manifestation that are coming inwards to him. So if you actually look at it, you will think that there is a round ball like this and something is exuding out of it. Okay. Now today you imagine the whole thing is actually coming inside. Like the rays of the sun are going outwards, and now the rays of the sun are going inwards. When it goes inwards, when everything going inwards, it's called the black hole, isn't it? Because it is absorbing energies and it is making everything going into a black hole. So yeah, so in this case what is happening is Krishna is a manifest divinity, remember this, okay? But the third domain, that is what we call as the second unmanifest, it's an abode. It's an abode. Now the first unmanifest and the manifest are in this abode. That means they are existing as if I take an entire board, blackboard, and I say that this whole thing is called the second unmanifest. Alright? Now in that there is a first unmanifest, and from which there is an extension of the manifest. So can you imagine this whole thing, like this manifest is going into the first unmanifest, is dissolving into the second one. Okay? And in this second there is an entity called the Supreme Divine Person. Alright? Who is actually doing the absorption. But visualize this, that this Supreme Divine Person is actually absorbing the unmanifest. How would it look like? When you visualize, you will understand. So that means what? If you look at it from the point of, let us say, have you ever seen the explosion of potassium stannic, what is that called? The, An implosion and an explosion are two things which happens. What does the device imploding means what? And device exploding means what? That there is a small device and it explodes. So the sparks are flying all over the place. And an implosion is a controlled explosion inwards. Alright, these are two things which you should understand. In the United States or all over the world, wherever there is what we call as very large quantity of people staying, number of people staying, you can't have explosions. If they have explosions, it's going to cause a lot of damage. Correct? Now you see this Hyderabad explosion which has happened, it has caused a lot of damage to people. But now there is a huge building which is say about 50-story or 100-story building. Now what I have to do is I have to implode the devices inside so that the building collapses inwards, not outwards. Okay. Now you think about it. How big is the device? How big is the device and what is the kind of damage that happens? How big is the device? The device would be tiny, isn't it? It's a tiny device. So now if you look at it, if you see the previous line, now see this. That's why I was asking you which line have we done. Yonder space between heaven and earth, and all quarters are entirely filled by you alone. Alright. Now I want you to think about it. If he is the one who is filling the spaces, okay, if he is the one who is filling all the spaces, then in that space everything is. That means the first unmanifest and the manifest is in his space. But the space is called the second unmanifest, whereas he is a supreme divine person. So I hope you have a clarity here. Still I will go ahead and explain to you further. That means where will the space go? The space will go to the space. You agree with me? Okay. The created beings like human beings or stars or planets will go and collapse in a star and a planet. Now think about it. There is a Mars, there is a Pluto, there is a Saturn. If they all gather together in a combined mass, so all the solid matter is going to the solid matter. Alright? Imagine this. All the solid matter goes to the solid matter. All the space goes to the space. Alright? All the liquid goes to the liquid, all the solid goes to the solid. Everything goes to every individual spaces, that is provisions. This is the manifest world that we are talking about. All the gods will collapse into the gods. Okay, it will become one again. As if there is an absorption of all the gods inwards. Think. Alright? So when we say explosion, the gods are coming out, the planets are coming out, the earth is coming out, the stars are coming out, everything is actually coming out. Now when the whole thing is going back in, everything is going to go back in there only. So now see, in one of the explanations he has said, as if on a lotus leaf, how does the water stick? There is no sticking. It is just, if there is one drop here, it will all come to the center. That is what is called centered. Centering, coming to the point of contact. Now, this is all manifest world which I am talking about. Now imagine all the manifest world has come inwards. So the theories which are expounded by people in our world, we have theories. Apply any theory to it, you will find that there is an application to it. So when they said that there was a creation, there was a big bang, definitely there would be a big bang, as if some debris going out and creating a new world of its own. Of course, it can happen. Okay, Pari has also joined. All right. Good morning, Pari. So all this debris is again going to go and form an individual planets and celestial bodies. Same way the planets, like the same way the stars are getting formed, same way the others are getting formed. So if you follow this line carefully, the 11 Rudras, 12 Adityas, 8 Vasus, Sadhyas and Vishwadevas, 2 Ashwini Kumars, 49 Maruts, as well as the mains and the multitudes of Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras and Siddhas all gaze upon you in amazement. That means all these groups are coming together. Do you get this point? So that means there is a congregation, there is nothing but people. I'm just saying people, I can't call them people. Everything comes to their respective spaces, respective places, right? And they're all gazing upon him. It is as if when I will give you another example. See, I have to give multiple examples for you to understand this, what is mentioned over here. There is no way of actual explanation. You have to only visualize, you have to only think how this works. Now let us say, for example, I am going to take a stem cell. I'm sure everybody has heard of stem cells. All right. Now if I use a stem cell in liver of a person, now the liver of that person has got spoiled. There is some problem in that liver. So I inject the stem cells in the liver. What happens to the stem cells? The stem cells take the form of a liver. You know that?
Yeah.
In the same way, when the stem cells are injected in the heart, they take the form of the heart. So this is, yeah, they are regenerating this. So that means these cells are becoming that. In the same way, this entire universe, as if when it collapses, it becomes one entity by itself. Okay. Now see, remember, the stem cells were some other place. Now they have come to some other place. Now they have actually formed a particular group by themselves. See, these are multiple examples which will give you an understanding. So when they say this line, yonder hosts of gods, gods are entering you. All right. So that means as if the gods have all collected together to enter you. Some with palms joined out of fear and uttering your names and glories. Why are they uttering his names and glories, and some of them are scared of him? They are scared of him because when you look at something very stupendous or huge, it's as if you are, Gulliver Travels, if you have heard of. They all looked at Gulliver as a very big giant. Think of it. So Gulliver, as if Gulliver is going and they are small, tiny people. So naturally they will be afraid. Some of them keep on, uttering his name and going inwards. Multitudes of Maharishis and Siddhas. There are Maharishis also and Siddhas also, saying, let there be peace, are extolling you by means of excellent hymns. What are they doing? They are actually extolling him. In all this, if you have seen, there is a kind of an awe, A-W-E, awe. Okay? Now you can call an awe a fear also. There is no problem. Because when you are in awe of a very great persona, and that persona, like say for example, Amitabh Bachchan. Now if Amitabh Bachchan comes, I'm sure, everybody will be in awe of him. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, like that, okay? So it is like that. So they are in awe of the persona. He is a stupendous and a huge person. Secondly, they all are singing his praises. That means what? Whenever we have to do prayers or any kind of activity, it has to be always in favor of that person, and the prayers are actually, we are extolling him. So if you go through all the verses of the Vedas or the Shastras, you will find that it is a reverential prayer to the divine. It is a prayer to the divine. It is saying, you are so good, you are so great, you are this, you are that. Got it? So extolling is important. Even if you are a rishi, even if you are a rishi or a siddha, that means, again, let us see how it works. If a rishi or a siddha is extolling the Lord, that means a rishi or a siddha is in the minority, isn't it? He is smaller than the Lord. But when the Lord is actually there in the universe, he goes to the rishis and the siddhas also. How it sounds? It sounds very strange, because going back to the line over there, what the great man does, others follow. You understand? What the great person does. Isn't there is a verse in the Bhagavad Gita where he says these words?
Yeah.
What the great men do, the smaller people also follow. So if Krishna comes as a normal human being on this world, will he not go and be kind and, as if bowing down to other people? Will he do that or no? It is not because he is small. It is because others should follow what he is doing. This is the reverse which you have to understand. If he is coming and bowing down to people, and if he is praising somebody, what is the need of that? The need is that you have to do what he is showing you to do. As if, like teacher says in the blackboard, now say after me, Jack and Jill. And so everybody will say Jack and Jill. It is as if, now think about it. If teacher says Jack and Jill, does it mean that teacher doesn't know? No, she knows. But the way she is putting it across to the children, so that the children can follow. Alright? So this is some verse that you need to understand. So now all these gods are going inwards. And that, since all the siddhas, mahasiddhas, everybody, literally sages, gods, you see, mains, and everybody is actually going inwards. They are in amazement and they are singing praises to him. Lord, seeing this stupendous and dreadful form of yours, possessing numerous mouths and eyes, many arms, thighs, and feet, many bellies and many teeth, the world are terror struck, so am I. Why is the world terror struck? Now imagine something is sucking you right in, like that, like a whirlpool. You think you will be happy to get sucked in a whirlpool? No, not at all. You are definitely going to be scared of your life. So every person over there, whether it's a god or a man or whatever, is getting literally drawn towards this great persona, getting sucked inwards. Naturally, the fear has to come in. It's very, very natural that the fear comes in. And then it is such a huge black hole type of a thing. Imagine, everything is going inward. So if everything is going inwards, how does this seem like? Imagine that's like so many teeth, so many mouths, so many things. It seems like a very, very great type of a activity going on. So naturally, Arjuna is saying, when we see all these things with so many eyes and mouths, and it's a representation, it's a way of talking. Okay? Please do not consider him as having so many eyes all over the place. He will look like a very funny alien to me. So imagine Karna, hands protruding from here, there, everywhere, legs from here, there, everywhere, eyes from all over the place. Oh my God, this God will sound like a very funny character. No, this is nothing like that. It is just to give you an idea. Being such a huge entity, what is it that looks like or happens? Lord, seeing your form reaching the heavens, effulgent, multicolored, having its mouth wide open and possessing large flaming eyes, I with my inmost self frightened, have lost self-control and find no peace. It is but natural. Now, in this there is one word which tells you something very different again. You see, we are talking about the second unmanifest. He says, reaching the heavens. Lord, seeing your form reaching the heavens. That means, see, there are many a times this word has come in, but emphasis is never given. We think there is no form. In this verse, it is mentioned very clearly. He has a form which is reaching the heavens. That means he is smaller than the heavens. Now, if you actually think about it, so that means the sky will go to the sky only, isn't it? All right. So that means what? The sky is anyway going to remain. What was mentioned, if you remember clearly, the Panchabhutas are going back to the Panchabhutas, right? Now, if you look at it, that means the ether is going back to the ether and the ether remains. Can you see?
Yes.
There is an ether. So that means the space always is.
It's from there that everything came.
Correct. That means he is engulfing the space as well. If you actually look at the words, they are very, very, they will give you some idea about it. I am asking you all to, pressurize your mind to get an understanding of it. So that if you see, the space is going to be there any which way, and the space is being a small part of the heavens. Got it? The small part of the heavens. So that means the winds, whatever, all right? The light, where is the light source? The light source is small. Like the sun is a tiny thing, whereas the universe is concerned, isn't it? So that means the light source is small. Fire is a very tiny source of that. So fire will go back into fire. Water is again a tiny source. We are so much searching for water everywhere, isn't it? Today also, if you look at all the space explorations, we are trying to explore places where there is water available. So the great thing that we have thought of is Mars has ice caps, which is a very, very great thing. That means we can stay on Mars, isn't it? This is what it is. So water goes back to water. That means, think about it. If water is going back into water, that means it is going in a very, very basic state, H2O. You got it? So that means everything is again going back into atomic levels. And if everything is going back into atomic levels, the ether cannot go back to atomic levels, because there is no component called ether. समझ में आया कि नहीं आया? Difficult है तो मेरे को पूछो. If you feel that what I am saying is going bounce, please ask me the question. Otherwise, you will not understand. Again, I will explain. You see, we have atmosphere, correct? Atmosphere is not there in the space, in the what is called as ether. There is no atmosphere in the ether. Atmosphere, only Earth has atmosphere. Correct?
Yes.
Atmosphere consists of gases only. You agree with me?
Yes.
Earth also consists of liquid, solid and gas.
Yes.
Earth consists of this also. That means the solid structure in the universe is a very minor, minuscule quantity. You agree with me? This space which we talk about, in our case the atmosphere, again a very, very tiny quantity. Even if I put all the suns together, it is again very small mass.
Yeah.
We think sun is a huge mass.
It's only a
But
star.
yes, so like that, if all the stars collapse together, they form a huge mass. If all the atmospheres comes together, they will form a small mass, isn't it? So everything which is having a body is going to have a tiny mass. And naturally, if you see, there will be a heaven. Heaven in this, that means what? There is going to be an ether, definitely. So everything collapsing in one place definitely requires a smaller form than the ether. You agree with me? So this is what is mentioned. You know, there is so much of confusion in the minds of people that everything gets dissolved means कुछ रहने वाला नहीं है.
So the space remains, you're saying.
Space has to remain. Otherwise, where will all this be? Space actually is not space. Space is confusion. It is that
Akash.
ether. Yes, an akasha. Basically, it has nothing in it. Nothing in it. That means no atmosphere, nothing, nothing, nothing. You can't even call it a vacuum. You can't even call it a vacuum. Yeah. And remember, all generations of all kinds of matter, and all kinds of power, if you see, they come from some point source only. You agree with me?
Yes.
Matter comes from point source,
Yeah.
and even the energy comes from a point source. That means the point source is the gathering of all the energies put together. All right. Now Krishna nowhere is mentioning that I am absorbing the whole universe with the vacuum and all those things. I'm sorry, he's not mentioning anything like that. So at the beginning of time, the explosion happens. In the end of time, implosion happens. Everything goes back to its self. All right. So, seeing your faces frightened on account of their teeth and blazing like the fire at the time of universal destruction, I am utterly bewildered and find no happiness. Therefore, have mercy on me, O Lord of celestials and abode of the universe. Now, this is something, this verse is very, very tricky. Okay, let me explain to you this verse. Now, I am sure this something which I am going to tell you has never been understood by anybody. Okay, so let us see. What is Arjuna watching?
Krishna.
Arjuna is watching the destruction. See, in all these verses, in the first one he's seeing the creation, and now he's actually watching the destruction.
The end of time.
Correct. Now you think about it. Do you really think that there is an end of time? No, it is a constant happening. If Arjuna could see destruction happening as well as creation happening, do you realize that the creation and the destruction are continuous in?
It's a process, continuous.
Yes, and there is no beginning and there is no end. I can't say just now everything has come out. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Senthil Brito, I need you to tell me, do you understand what I'm saying? The verse is telling you something very, very strange just now. It is telling you that the destruction as well as the creation is happening simultaneously. Let us say A is getting created now. Okay, A is getting created, but X is getting destroyed. Okay, B is getting destroyed, but Y is getting created. Aha. Now you apply any theory in physics. you will come to the understanding that everything there is a constant.
Yeah, it
We
cannot be
have
destroyed.
no.
It can only be converted.
Guru,
Yeah, you're saying something. Yes, Senthil.
um, the first unmanifest also gets absorbed, right? So
Yes.
in that case, how can simultaneously it can get absorbed and then get created?
Yes. Okay, I'll give you an idea. Suppose we are talking about our solar system. Our solar system. Okay. The solar system is called X. Okay. Another solar system is there called Y, and then there is a third solar system which is called Z. All right. Now, if X is in the process of getting made, Y is already in his middle life, and Z is already destroyed. And this is it's a cycle. So at any given point in time, if you look at it, you will find the universe existing. Yeah, correct. So that is the reason why we see so many black holes in the universe. And that is the reason why you see what is called as the क्या बोलते हैं उसको? The star which is giving birth.
Uh,
Oh, I don't know what it is called, supernova or what.
yeah.
It's giving birth, it's giving birth.
Mm.
And some of them are absorbing it and becoming zero. And this is like a continuous process. It keeps on going on and on and on and on and on. Even in our world, and even in yours and my world also, forget the celestial bodies. Let the celestial bodies go take a walk. I don't care. Now let us see from our perspective. The entire creation that is there out here, okay, all the trees one day were completely reduced to ashes or no? That is why coal formation is there. Then one day everything again came back. How many times this has happened? N number of times it has happened. But I can't say that if the earth, that which is there on earth is getting destroyed, means the earth should also get destroyed. See, the time factor is in your mind, it is not there on the earth. Please understand this. So that means how many deluges will be there? Many. You got what I'm saying or no?
Mm.
How many times the trees are going to get destroyed and become coal? Many times. They will again become big. They will again go back into coal. They will again become big. They will again go. It's like a continuous process. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Right? You agree with me? And that process is going to be continuous. But the moment you think, oh, you mean to say that the earth is getting absorbed now, that's a very foolish idea, because we are applying the time factor, which is a human time factor, to the earth getting destroyed. No. There will be a time when this earth is going to get cooled. Yes, of course. I don't know when, gazillion years later. It is again going back into its point source where it came from. It will again keep on coming out somewhere down the line. I don't know. You got what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. So
Or
this
no?
yugas are, yeah. In that case, all the yugas are also continuously happening, is it? All the
Yes.
four yugas.
Okay, let me give you again one idea. Do you know to scale? Do you know what it means to scale? In the map, they say
Yeah.
1 kilometer is equal to 1 centimeter. What does it
Yeah.
mean? To scale, isn't it?
Representing.
Yes,
Yeah.
when we are watching, when we are seeing some like an architectural design, an architect has created a small model. The model will be at scale, isn't it? It's a scaled
Right.
model. Exactly how this scale works. All right. The bodies which are grander will have a bigger scale.
Yes.
The bodies which are smaller will have a smaller scale. Do you get it?
Yeah,
It
but
is,
the content or the intent is same. It's going to be
yes,
right.
yes.
Okay.
The methodology of creating is going to be one and the same. That is why I said the framework is one and the same, whereas everything is drawn to scale. That is why an ant has very small life. Do you get what I'm saying? A butterfly has a very small span of life. A dog has a different span of life. Okay? A dinosaur would be alive for many, many years, isn't it? A mountain will be alive for still many years. But a mountain will go back into its trough or no? It will become like this. Today we have Marina Trench. I don't know whether you have heard of the Marina Trench. The Marina Trench is the deepest point on earth. Okay, anybody who goes over there, James Cameron had come out with a very beautiful movie. Okay, where they take a bathysphere. You know what a bathysphere is? Submarine, you know submarine? Good. Now a submarine can go to a certain depth only. Then the pressure of air becomes very high. Am I becoming too technical? Okay, well, understanding purpose I'll tell you. It's a round ball. Okay, the ball is made in such a way, and there are people sitting inside that. Okay, and it has got very, very thick walls which can sustain tremendous amount of pressure. Okay, and it is sent inside. Okay, it is suspended and sent inside. Now it is at the end of very large chains or something like that, or it has its own propelling system. Just like the spacecraft has a propelling system, it also has. So it can move left, right, this, that. Now bathysphere can withstand only a certain pressure. Beyond that it cannot. So in this James Cameron movie, he had actually, it's physical impossibility though, but he had made this bathysphere with millions of dollars being spent on it, and they had gone to the depth of this place called the Marina Trench. Okay, and tried to explore what is there deep down, so many kilometers deep down inside. They had actually tried to see, but nobody can touch the bottom. Like we can touch Mount Everest, the highest point, nobody can touch the bottom as of now, like that. So the mountains become trenches and the trenches become mountains. This is the birth and the depth of that. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, so now I think you have got some clarity. Everything happens on a scaled version. All right, all right. All the sons of Dhritarashtra with hosts of kings are entering you. Bhishma, Drona and yonder Karna with the principal warrior on your sides as well are rushing headlong into your fearful mouth, looking all the more terrible on account of their teeth. Some are seen stuck up in the gaps between your teeth and their heads crushed. Now again, there's another very, very beautiful way of looking at this. He is talking about who all are going in? Sons of Dhritarashtra. The sons of Dhritarashtra and Bhishma, Drona, yonder Karna, everybody is going in. Now I want you to think again, what is this verse talking about? That means there is a constancy even to this. So when he says the words in the beginning, what he said the words in the beginning, you and I have always come together.
I've
You
always
remember
been
the
there.
words?
Yeah.
We have always been there. So do you see that the destruction and the creation is actually balancing out? There is a time when Dronacharya and everybody is going to get destroyed, and then there is a time when they are going to get again created. So this is the cycle. So you will always find us coming back again and again and again and again and again. And then the destruction is again going to happen. Now you think about it. If this is how the whole universe has been created around us, the life and the death of everything, isn't it a repetition? It is a repetition of the whole thing again and again and again. So if we see life having, coming back to life again and dying again and coming back to, what is the difference there then? There is no difference. Alright, but what is it that makes the difference? If you study the entire Bhagavad Gita from the beginning to the end, he says that there is only one thing which actually makes a difference. That one thing is called the mind. The mind is actually making the difference. It is making you think, oh, वैसा end होने वाला नहीं है. Do you get this? Everything is programmed the way it is. If a Karna comes, the Karna is going to get destroyed in the similar fashion. If Arjuna comes, Arjuna is always going to get the teachings from Krishna. It is like as if, हम लोग, have you ever been to a 5-star restaurant? Every morning if you go for breakfast, morning breakfast, you know how it happens? Good morning, sir. Which room you are from? And they will check up. Okay, room 101. Thank you, sir. Please take your seat. They are doing the same thing every day. Okay, the steward is doing the same thing, the cook is doing the same thing, he is cooking the same damn stuff every single day. You will find that there will be somebody who will be told, you fill all the cereals up. There are 3, this thing. Cereals to be filled out, fruits to be cut and kept. Think about it. But you are going there for the first time. So you say, what a nice breakfast they have given. And look at it from their perspective. It's the same damn thing every single day. सोचो, कुछ difference है उनको? So anybody who is doing a job in any company, in any place, in any location, are they not doing the same stuff every single day? Think. A person goes to work as a clerk. Every day he goes and opens his dabba, sits over there, and and then people start coming in. Or suppose you go to a place where they are issuing tickets. Isn't it the same thing that he is doing? You go to a ticket checker. Isn't it the same thing he is doing all day for the 30 or 40 years of his life? So now think about it. Raj, you wrote something. Yes, for what? I don't know what she is written yes for. Oh, getting too technical. This is a very normal thing in the material world. I am telling you how the material world is now. So every human being is supposed to do what they are supposed to do in a clockwork precision, correct? Suppose one day you don't do. There is going to be a problem. Got it? Alright. Now railway ticket issue करने वाला आदमी एक दिन बोला कि है ना मैं पैसा लेगा टिकट नहीं देगा जा कैसा चलेगा हाँ और एक ने बोला जुमरी तल्लैया का टिकट देना तुमने निकाल के दिया दिल्ली का टिकट कैसा चलेगा So the universe is clockwork precision. Everything is happening in a clockwork manner, and if there is a hiccup in the system, there is going to be a problem. That means destiny also works in a clockwork precision, isn't it? Think, destiny works in a clockwork precision, right? Then it is the mind which makes a difference. It's the mind which tells you you can make a difference. टिकट आज झुमरी तलैया का मत देना, दिल्ली का देना. Okay, it is like every day you are okay and one day you have loose motions. हो गया ना प्रॉब्लम लाइफ में? You see the whole problem. So if there is every day everything is going on fine, but one fine day there is a problem. Who is the one who has made the difference? It's the mind which gives the hiccup. But remember, everything is hurtling at the same place. So that means destiny is fixed. If the clock hand moves from 1 to 12, is it not going to come back to 1 again? You understand this? The clock hand goes like this, tick 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 tick. वो 12 से 1 वापस 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, फिर 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So it is going to go on. Yes, and it is constant. It is constant. Please understand. Destiny is constant. That means what is destined is anyway going to happen.
So
Got
is
it?
the reverse also true?
What is
Whatever is happening is actually destined.
Yes. Whatever is
So it
happening is actually
for
destined.
it's for your mind to just accept it.
But that is the whole problem. You see, the mind doesn't accept. What does the mind do? It throws a spanner in it and it makes you think कि है ना ये सही नहीं है, वो गलत है, ये ऐसा नहीं है, वो ऐसा नहीं है, वो ऐसा नहीं है. And your ahankara stands up over there. At the end of the time, ahankara रहो या तुम्हारा कुछ भी रहो, उधर ही जाने वाले हो ना. हाँ, लेकिन अहंकार आ गया इसीलिए तुमने नेक्स्ट साइकिल में तुम्हारा पदार्पण किया. करेक्ट है?
Next destiny लिख लिया.
Yes. So what is Krishna telling you over here? Can you not cut this, snip this over there?
Mind.
Snip it off and come to me. Don't get into all these things. Get absorbed. Why do you want to keep on becoming an ant again, an elephant again, and this again and that again? Because as many forms as you take, that many forms will come up for you. Got it? So the idea is to follow what he is telling us to do. But again, like Padma said rightly over here, the mind will not allow us to do. It always makes us think, नहीं मैं इसमें कुछ कर सकता हूँ और मेरे जैसा कोई नहीं है. तो उसमें क्या हो गया?
Ego.
करता धरता एक ही है. उसने तो घड़ियाल को चाबी देके रख दिया है और हैंड खाली टिक 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 ऐसा गोल जा रहा है और तुम सोचो कि यू आर सिटिंग ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट हैंड. ओके, यू आर कैचिंग इट बिग एंड देन यू से कि है ना मैं 6 के बाद 7 में नहीं जाने देगा. पकड़ के रखो, पकड़ के रखो, पकड़ के रखो. अरे तुम क्या पकड़ने वाले हो? वो 7 पे ही जाने वाला है. लेकिन तुम्हारे दिमाग को ऐसा लगता है देखो आई स्लोड इट डाउन, आई डिड दिस. The foolish person doesn't understand that it is happening in clockwork precision. Whereas the mind thinks I am the one who is doing it or I am the one who is making it slow.
I have
So-
a question.
Haji,
Where does moksha play a part here?
that's what I explained to you just now. Krishna is telling you, why do you want to be a part of this monkey cycle? The
So
moment
moksha is got through the mind?
you have to decimate the mind first. Think about it. If the earth had its own mind, will it stay in orbit?
No.
No.
It will do
So
its
that
own
means, that means anything besides the human being is programmed for just destroying the karma.
Hmm.
It is the human mind which creates more and more karma.
Hmm.
You understand? In one of the, see, I can, let me tell you this. Do you remember there is one particular entity called the pole star?
Hmm.
He
Dhruv
was
Tara.
a man.
Dhruv, yeah.
He was a man. So now you think about it. How can man become a pole star? Does it explain to you how things are moving from X to Y and Y to Z? Huh?
Hmm.
So that means what? We also have various forms that we have to take up.
Hmm.
Sometimes it may be a huge celestial body for all you know. That is why now you think about it. वो मेरे पिताजी हैं और वो मेरी माँ है, देखो दोनों कैसे है ना एक साथ रहते हैं. वी से दिस वर्ड्स लेकिन किसी को समझ में नहीं आता कि वो क्या बात कर रहे हैं. फिल्म में ये सब डायलॉग आते हैं कि नहीं आते. When we actually think about it, the dialogues themselves are also pointing us towards that, but our mind doesn't allow us to think like that. So the ahankara, the mind, the senses and everything is actually given so that we can become one with the Lord. That is where moksha comes into play. Whereas what are we doing? We want to keep our loops on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And then one fine day, we may become a celestial body which may be for billions of years just going in that place. And then do you have a choice of creating karma?
No. Only
No,
disappear.
you are not at all a part of karma. You become a furniture. You actually become a furniture in God's world. You know, बोला जा उधर जाके एक तारा बन जा. And you may think, you know, it's such a great thing. Imagine you just have to be a chair in God's domain. All fat asses are going to come and sit on top of you. Or imagine you becoming some star and tomorrow so many creatures are going to be crawling and creeping all over you. Oh my God. Sounds very funny, but this is what it is. So I think you got the gist of it. Okay. As the myriad streams of rivers rush towards the sea alone, so do these warriors of the mortal world enter your flaming mouths. See, in every line there is a mention of something. That means water is going to the water. See, myriad streams of rivers rush towards the sea alone. Everything is going in one direction to its own place of birth. And the mortal world enters your flaming mouth. As moths rush with great speed into the blazing fire for extinction out of their folly, even so all these people are with great rapidity entering your mouth to meet their doom. So it's just like the moths are going towards this burning, candle का इसमें जाते हैं moths, देखा होगा ना? I'm sure you have seen, isn't it?
Yeah, they move towards the light. Yeah.
It's like a convergence. Everybody is converging towards that point source. In the same way, everything is converging towards that, as if it's attracting, as if you have come to me, come to me, come to me, kar raha hai. Devouring those blazing through your blazing mouth, you are licking all those people on all sides. Lord, your fiery rays fill the whole universe and their fierce radiance and scorch it. So all these are actually destruction that is happening. And if Arjuna is watching the destruction happening and he has watched the destruction of, in the previous line he says, na,
Kauravas.
Dronacharya and this and
Yeah,
that. If he has watched all this, that means, don't you think it's like a deja vu?
Yeah.
So now I want you to think very carefully. Can you have your mirror image somewhere which is getting destroyed? Of course you can have. So Exactly. Now you got that hang of it. There is certain another enactment happening somewhere else. We don't know where it is, but it is happening. So you get a deja vu. And then again, what are we trying to apply? We are trying to apply the human mind towards this time factor. We are trying to apply our time to that time. You can't apply. Like I told you, it is drawn to scale. Everything is drawn to scale. So even the time is drawn to scale. So don't think that your time is equivalent to Brahmaji's time or somebody else's time. Got it? So from my flaming mouths, there are so many Brahmas also getting devoured. But from the other place, there are many Brahmajis which are getting created also. Isn't it? So it's a simultaneous thing which is happening. So, but there is only one constant, isn't it? That is him alone. Do you get this? It is he who is constant, the rest everything is coming and going. आता है जाता है, आता है जाता है. समझे? Good. So now naturally, Arjuna's question to him, tell me who you are with a form so terrible. My obeisance to you, best of gods, be kind to me. I wish to know you, the primal being in particular, for I know not your purpose. So naturally Arjuna, who has got this vision. Now tell me something. In the last 1 hour, did you get vision?
Visualized.
Yes. You were transported to that land, isn't it? We still do not understand what actually happened.
Yeah.
In this 1 hour of my satsang, if you are actually paying attention, if your mind was single pointed, you would have been transported to this same domain. If you are completely focused on it. But if you are making your tea, or you are ironing your clothes, or you are going to the loo, or you are doing something else, do you really think you can ever experience this?
No, because mind is not focused.
Correct. Now think about it. The reason why I tell people, focus on what I am saying. Focus. When people come and sit over here, their minds are going all over the town. Now you are only watching one thing over here. Do you know how much tratak that is? You know what tratak is? Zero point focus. You are focusing onto an entity over there. The phone rang in Padma's place. She had to remove that and then answer it. She must have seen it must be some funny message they keep on giving. But when you are focused over here, you are actually transported to that domain. And those who have said that they don't understand, naturally there is something which has to be done over there. So more concentration is required. In the previous chapters, he has mentioned very clearly, it is important to focus. Right or wrong?
Yes.
So why is this so much of an importance? If you don't focus, how do you think you are going to see these celestial worlds? If you go in the kitchen and make something for yourself, you think you are going to understand what this great divine form is? No way can a person understand this. No way, because the mind is going like a monkey all over the place. Is running all over the town, right? So that is why the focus and attention is a must. So now that Arjuna has understood this, because there is no other thing in his mind, by the way, Arjuna is completely zeroed on and focused to Krishna. So he is asking him the question, tell me who you are with a form so terrible. There is a form, that means Please understand, again and again and again I am emphasizing this, that there is a form. My obeisance to you, O best of gods, be kind to me. I wish to know you, the primal being in particular, for I know not your purpose. Primal being, the one who creates, the one from where everything comes out, the primal being is called.
Source.
Yes, the point source. My obeisance to you, I bow down to you. I please humbly, can you tell me this? Now I want you to have this understanding again. In the previous form, Krishna was a very benevolent person. Now this form is impossible to even grasp or understand. Forget about understanding. When you think of the form itself, is going to be very, very terrible, isn't it? So does it not tell you something? You know what he is telling you very simply? So what do you want to see in me? I can keep that form in front of you. It is for your satisfaction that I will create that form and keep it in front of you.
So that is a form that your mind creates.
Because your mind can only grasp that much. You see, we are so many people.
But then you said whatever the mind creates is unreal.
Exactly, it's unreal. That is what Krishna is trying to tell you again. All this is unreal. Don't you see? I can create whatever form you want for you to put your devotion into. But that is not me. It's an illusion. It's an illusion that I have created for you. And you get lost in the illusion. I can create Hazar Lakshmis if you want. I can create Hazar Vishnus if you want. If you want, I can create thousands of Shivas and Naradas if you want. And if you
But
believe
then he
in...
says he is with form. So what is this
Yes.
form?
The form is something that was described just now. It's like, oh my God type of a form.
The
There is
Virat
no other,
form.
yes, there is no way of knowing his form. But when he comes back to his original form, his original means that which you
Benign
can
form.
admire for. How do you then experience the true form? Raj, I have been explaining for the last 1 hour and 6 minutes the same thing. If you have not experienced this form in the last 1 hour and 6 minutes, where I have told very clearly that I want you to visualize. Did I keep on emphasizing on this or no? Think about it. When somebody visualizes, then only you get movies like Star Wars, isn't it? So that means the form called Star Wars, the movie, came only when George Lucas and Steven Spielberg visualized it. Now do you understand the power of visualization?
Yes.
That is the reason why all these great people like, Norman Vincent Peale. Have you heard of this man? Good. So whether you heard of Norman Vincent Peale or various other gurus in the material world, you know what they say? Power of visualization, very, very important. If you visualize what you are going to do in your mind's eye, then you can create that form in front of you. So now we go back to a small verse from the Tripura Rahasya. There he says these words very clearly. The sankalpa is very important. Laying the foundation stone of your visualization is very, very essential. And when you make this sankalpa, I will ensure that that thing happens. But if you have a vikalpa, which is a material worldly vikalpa, it is never going to happen. Because it's a collapse. Okay? What is a vikalpa? A vikalpa is desire driven. Desire driven. Now think, if it is desire driven, can it match destiny? No. No way. Think. If something is desire driven, can it match destiny? No way. But if there is something called destiny and that destiny creates a desire in you, then it is matched. Other way around. Did you get what I said? No. Suppose I have a destiny. Okay. The destiny is I am going to eat an ice cream. The destiny is there. Alright. Will destiny not move me towards the ice cream parlor? Yes, it will. And then I will have the desire of having an ice cream which fulfills my destiny. We are actually clockwork precision driven towards that. Do you get this? But the mind says, I went to the ice cream parlor and now I have a very great desire of eating. Vikalpa is there. And then what happens to you? You eat the ice cream and you land up with a cold. Your Vikalpa has created the cold, additional desire. Whereas this loop in the system was not there. So additional loop gets created by our mind. So our next life can get created. That means we can prolong our existence in the material world by creating desires. You understand this?
Yes.
So every stupid desire of ours creates a loop in the system. So why are we so much bothered about this? Why not just bother about this celestial form, of dreaming of this celestial form, whatever that is? So in every sentence he keeps on saying, you know what he says? Have single pointed devotion, have single pointed devotion, have single. You see the beginning to the end, it's the same thing he is repeating.
Yeah. So have single pointed devotion and just do what comes your way without any desires.
Correct. That is what the thing is called. Surrender means that.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of the word surrender? भैया सरेंडर करोगे तो काम करोगे तुम्हारा. अगर सरेंडर नहीं किए तो तुम बोलोगे ना कि मैंने किया.
Yeah, then you're only doing your swadharma.
Yes. When you surrender, you are only doing what is destined of you to do. But the moment you keep your mind in the picture, you are going to take all the credit for whatever that you are doing. Okay? And then you are going to blame for everything bad supposedly happening in your world. So again, the system called good and bad has come to you. But if you are doing surrender to the Lord, where is the question of good or bad?
There's no desire. Yeah.
Exactly, there is no desire. There is neither good nor bad. भैया ने बोला ये करने का है तो कर देने का. बॉस बोलता है ऐसा करो. बोला ना. बॉस कौन है मालूम है क्या? हाँ, वो एक गाना था, बहुत सुंदर गाना था. बॉस कौन है मालूम है क्या? आर डी बर्मन के बारे में बोलता है. यहाँ पे तो अपन यही बोलने का ना, बॉस कौन है मालूम है क्या? एक ही बॉस है. बॉस वो बोलता है गाना गाने का तो गाना गाओ. Raj, did you get what I said?
Single pointed devotion.
So he says, I want to know this, who you are. Now, all this Krishna has, all the Tigadambaji that Krishna has done to show him all this. Now he says, now please tell me who you are. इतना सब होने के बाद पूछता है कि राम की सीता कौन? लखन नो बात. बोला भैया उसकी वो वाइफ है. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? I was reading a very funny verse, okay, and believe me, don't laugh at it, okay. मैंने ब्रिटो के साथ किया. ब्रिटो भी हंसा, मैं भी हंसा. हम लोगों का बहुत तकलीफ में आने वाले हैं कल. Okay. Brito ko, you know, in the verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam it is written, and we saw Brahmaji marrying his own daughter. See, it brought a smile to everybody. Those who smile will get into trouble. उसके बाद next verse है वो. लेकिन हंस के बगैर कैसे बोल सकते हैं? How can you marry your daughter? हैं? ये नहीं सोच सकते हम लोग. प्रॉब्लम है हमारे लाइफ का कि वी आर सो कन्फाइंड टू आवर इमेजरीज. Now we are so much confined to it. And this verse is, by the way, I just picked up at random, and one day I said, I'm going to read one verse, don't laugh at it. And Brito and I both burst out laughing because it is a very funny verse. अब हम लोगों का normal जो intellect है ना वो accept नहीं करता है ऐसा सब. And Brahma ji then curses the sons of मैं भूल गया. बेचारे लोगों को है ना बहुत लफड़े में डाल के रखता है. हाँ. So anyway, Shri Bhagwan said, I am the mighty Kal, the eternal time spirit. If he is the eternal time spirit, now just now we were talking about the various phases of time, isn't it? So naturally, being a Kal himself, imagine वो अगर काल है, हाँ, तो जेंट्स वॉच भी बनाएगा, लेडीज वॉच भी बनाएगा कि नहीं बनाएगा? ब्रिटो हंसना मत यार, सच में बोल रहा हूं. तो अलग अलग आदमी के लिए अलग अलग वॉच आएगा. अच्छा, बच्चे लोगों का पहले वो वॉच आता था, मालूम है? वो बच्चे लोगों का भी वॉच आएगा. एंड बच्चा विल कम टू डैड माय वॉच इज नॉट प्रॉपर, कैन आई वेयर योर्स? बोले ये वॉच तो चलता नहीं है. So everybody's clock. Imagine an ant having a watch made by Swatch. कैसा रहेगा उसका watch? So the Kal, as Krishna, is also different for different species, for different yugas, for different everything. It is different for different. All right. So we cannot say कि कुत्ते का वॉच और मेरे वॉच में समांतर क्यों नहीं है. उसका वॉच अलग चलता है बॉस, तुम्हारे क्लॉक से अलग चलता है. क्या करेगा उसमें? So I am the mighty Kala, the destroyer of the worlds. I am out to exterminate these people. Even without you, all those warriors arrayed in the enemy camp shall die. It is but natural. The process is continuous. It keeps on happening again and again and again and again and again. There is no stopping it, isn't it? We can't go and say halt. ऐसा करके उधर कोई रेड सिग्नल नहीं है कि बोले रुक जा बत्ती. ऐसा नहीं है. It's a continuous process. Therefore, do you arise and win glory, conquering foes, enjoying the affluent kingdoms. These warriors shall stand already slain by me. Be you only an instrument, Arjuna. Important word in this line. Be an instrument. यही किसी को समझता नहीं. This is where the whole problem starts in our world. We don't want to be an instrument. We want to be the one who is going to drive the whole world. We want to be Krishnas in our world. हाँ. चल मेरे घोड़े टिक टिक टिक. वो बच्चा समझता है कि है ना मैं घोड़े को चला रहा हूँ. उसको ये नहीं समझता है वो घोड़ा ऑलरेडी ऐसा ऐसा करके चल रहा है अपने हिसाब से. यू सी द होल पॉइंट. हाँ, वो चला रहा है कौन? उसका बाप. वो बाप ऐसा ऐसा घोड़े को करता है और ये बच्चा उसके ऊपर बैठ के चल मेरे घोड़े टिक 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 करता है. इट्स सो फनी. Whereas if we become an instrument, we will just be going round and round the clock the way it is supposed to go, isn't it? So can you please take your mind out of this? The one thing which is detrimental to all of us is our own mind. So can you subdue the mind, is what he's saying, and just be a good instrument in my hands. Now that you have seen such a stupendous form of mine, you better be scared of me. ऐसा भी बोल सकता है. मतलब देख, डरना मांगता है क्या? मैं गब्बर सिंह हूं. जब गांव का बच्चा रोता है तो एक फॉर्म उसका गब्बर सिंह का और दूसरा फॉर्म उसका जय और वीरू. Imagine so many forms he has got. So which form you want to see? If you want to see the deadly form, then he is going to show you deadly form. If you want to see a benevolent form, you will see the benevolent form. If you want to see a child's form, you will see the child's form. If you want to see a Kali form, you will see the Kali form. He says, I am everything in this. Therefore, do you arise and win glory? What do you mean by do you arise and win glory? I have already made you glorious. The glory is always there, but we do not see the glory. We always see the downside of life. All right? Conquering foes, enjoying the affluent kingdoms. These warriors stand already slain by me. Be you only an instrument, Arjuna. So he says, all this is happening in clockwork precision. तू सोचने से कोई चेंज होने वाला नहीं है, तो तेरा माइंड को तू बाजू में रख. जस्ट डू व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग यू टू डू. जस्ट बी माई इंस्ट्रूमेंट. Why do you want to pressurize your mind in thinking मैंने इसको मारा, मैंने ये किया, मैंने वो किया? Just be an instrument. No, just do what you're supposed to do. Don't bother about the rest. Do kill Drona and Bhishma and Jayadratha and Karna and other brave warriors. Already he is like a tarot card reader, or maybe he is a palmist or an astrologer. He is already telling Arjuna, देख भाई, मैं तेरे को स्टोरी बोल रहा हूँ पहले से. आई एम टेलिंग यू द स्टोरी राइट इन द बिगिनिंग. सबको मार डाल, ये देख ये लोग मरने वाले हैं. और उसका नाम भी देता है वो. द्रोणा को तू ही मारेगा, कर्ण को तू ही मारेगा, भीष्म को तू मारेगा, जयद्रथ को तू ही मारेगा. इतना सब बोलने के बाद भी है ना, उसको है ना क्वेश्चन पूछने वाला है, मैं क्यों मारने का? मतलब कर लो बात. सो स्टूपिड. So here, do kill बोला. मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ वो करना, मेरा इंस्ट्रूमेंट बनना. So be my instrument and do kill Bhishma, Drona, Jayadratha and Karna and other brave warriors who already stand killed by me. I am the one who is killing them. तू खाली एक्टिंग करने का, ये ऐसा करके ऐसा एरो छोड़ा, मर गया सारा. मारने वाला मैं है, ऊपर से ऐसा टिंग वाला मर गया, टिंग दूसरा मर गया, ये टिंग तीसरा मर गया, और खाली यू आर डूइंग द एक्टिंग. ऐसा करके सोचो. You just do your part of the deal. Let the world think that you are doing it. Actually, I am the doer, but the world is going to give you all the praises. Arjuna, you are going to get all the praises. Don't worry. I've already programmed them in such a way that exactly when your arrow hits them, no, I've already timed their death like that. Understood? I've already timed their death like that. So you just do your part of the deal. It's like an acting, isn't it? So since it is just like an acting, you just do your part of the deal, and then they will stand killed by me already. I have already killed them. Tu tera kaam kar. And you will surely conquer the enemies in the war. I'm telling you again and again, you are going to be victorious. Why are you not just being my instrument? Just be my instrument. Lift your bow and arrow and shoot. I have already done the part of the result. So the result is already there. Why are you so much getting het up about trying to say कि मैं नहीं करूँगा, मैं नहीं करूँगा, मैं नहीं करूँगा? It's already destined. Just do your job. That's it. We'll stop over here, okay? Because after this, Sanjay Baba is coming. So, any questions? I don't know, today's journey was very far and wide. to the corners of the universe and back again where we are. And again, चाय बनाने का है, खाना बनाने का है. वो वर्ल्ड में आ गया हम लोग. सोचो. Tell me, any questions? No? Good. Huh. See, think about it. Think about it this way. What is the, now let us say you are playing a character Midsummer's Night, or let us say you are playing a character Romeo and Juliet. Now you are enacting a part of Romeo. Okay? And then there is a Juliet. Who are you actually? Are you Brito? Are you Romeo? Or are you something else? Brito is playing the role of Romeo, correct? Is Romeo real?
No.
No. But when you are playing the part of Romeo, are you enacting as if you are a Romeo?
Yes.
You agree with me? So you are enacting a part of a Romeo. Somebody has written the script and you are supposed to follow the Romeo and Juliet. Okay? Yeah, you know the script. Now I am asking you to go and change the script. बोला रोमियो क्या करेगा? कैपुलेट की मम्मी है ना, उसके साथ भाग जा. चलेगा? नहीं ना. You have to following a script, boss. Otherwise it will not be called Romeo and Juliet. It would be called Romeo and Juliet's mother. So do you understand? You are following a script, correct? And the script is airtight. Similarly, Brito is doing a script. The character called Brito, you are enacting a Brito's character, a role. Alright? It's a very tight script. You cannot move here and there. समझ में आया? नहीं तो स्टोरी अलग हो जाएगा. Then who is this one who is actually doing it? So that one which is actually doing it is somebody different. Now again I am telling you one more to answer your question. There is another place where the same play is happening. Romeo and Juliet. Okay? Same play is happening. That is played by Senthil. Okay? Senthil is the Romeo over there. But is Senthil enacting Romeo the same way as Brito is enacting Romeo? Because the script is airtight. Please understand. Is following the same script, yes or no? Now again going back to Senthil's domain, where he is. So that means the script of Romeo and Juliet in Senthil's hand. Now you are in Wichita and Senthil is in Bangalore. Places are different. Okay. Now think about it. Senthil is enacting Romeo. Brito is enacting Romeo. Is Brito real or is Senthil real? Both are in the body and they are unreal. Correct? So that means, is there any birth and death anywhere? No. It's an illusion. Do you understand? Just like Romeo and Juliet will someday die, it's an illusion. It's a script. It's just a script. So whether you are just now Brito or whether you are Senthil, what does it matter where you are? The enactment is the same. You understand enactment? That which script is there is the same. So if you think you are different, who is making you think you are Brito?
Mind.
Your mind is making you think you are Brito. You are not Brito. This is the whole point of the discussion. You are not Brito. You have to, yeah, you actually think you are Romeo. समझ में आया? तो ऐसा होता है. Now let us, there was one example which I saw given by some great guru. You know what example he said? It was as stupid, but it's very appropriate. He said that, see, you are now going to Mars. Now India is sending spacecraft to Mars. Okay. So you are wearing a space suit and going to Mars. Alright. Now, when you go on Mars and you are stepped out onto the Martian soil, at that time 100 Martians are coming with bow and arrow to you. Hey, bhago, bhago, bhago. And what is Brito doing? Brito is running. And the Martians are behind him. Okay. Now think about it. What are you trying to save?
Body.
You are trying to save your space suit. If one arrow hits your space suit, you are going to die there. So that nobody hits my space suit, I have to run. Correct? Like that, this is our space suit. What you see is our space suit. And we are so much attached to it that we are trying to save it always. Do you get the similarity? So we are actually trying to save this space suit of ours, whereas we are not this. We are something else beside this. Just because we have put a body on top of it, like a space suit we have put, so we look different to everything. And imagine there are so many Martians around us. सब जन आ रहे हैं अपने को लेके मारने के लिए. क्या करेगा? भागना तो पड़ता है कि नहीं? So did you get my answer? The answer is this: knowing the truth, knowing the real from the unreal is so very important. We are the destructible spirit, not the body. The bodies are getting destroyed continuously. They are manufacturing process. Aya gaya. आते रहते. If you consider yourself the body, you are going to be aya ram gaya ram. But if you are understanding you are the spirit, this understanding is very important. The form which Krishna has created is an illusory form for understanding of Arjuna. It's an illusory form. He has created an illusion for him to understand. It's a small mind, and the small mind needs pictures, and the pictures understanding has to be given. So the Virat Swarup by itself is an illusion, because remember, anything that is going in, any illusion going inside another illusion is an illusion by itself. Yes, Padma, you had some question.
Yeah, just like the Guru has donned this body. So everyone else also has actually donned bodies, right?
Correct.
It's just that they don't know that.
Yes.
There
But we
the
have
difference
attachment to
lies-
the body. Yeah, you're saying, sorry.
No, the difference lies in not knowing that they have donned the bodies.
Yes. That's why I always say it was so easy for me. It's easy to know. I'm wearing an Armani suit, or otherwise I'm wearing Dawn के underwear or बनियान. मैंने रूपा के नहीं बोला. So understanding has to come in, then only you will get a clarity in it. See, I make fun so that you get an understanding into it, so that you take the essence of it. The essence is very important. You are not the body, please understand. You are just donned the body, and just because you have donned the body, you are thinking this is my world, this is my. There's nothing mine and yours and all that. Just now I said, no, Brito is enacting a Romeo role. Okay, same. These also, the Senthil is also enacting a Romeo ka role. If he takes seriously, then he will think, Meri Juliet kahan hai? Like that, and his wife will give him a solid beating. So that is the reason why you have to. All this is just an enactment. We have to actually understand this is that. All right. So I shall take your leave. Okay. And tomorrow is what? Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
So tomorrow afternoon we are meeting, not in the morning. All right. Okay, chalo, you take care and you have a very good day. I shall see you later. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Pari. See you.